Since 1991, the Sacramento Area Bicycle Advocates, or SABA, has dedicated their efforts to help create more and safer trips by bike. As the years go on and cycling becomes more prominent, SABA's vision of more individuals utilizing bicycling for everyday transportation is becoming more of a reality. SABA is responsible for helping bicycle advocacy efforts in Sacramento and the surrounding areas, including their early support and recommendations for Sacramento's City-County Bicycle Master Plan that was drafted in 1989 and completed in 1995 after much prodding of the city and county.
When the 1987 Bicycle Master Plan was started, citizen involvement was only a few bicycle recreational groups, a few commuters. Yet, after they completed the draft plan in 1989, nothing much was happening on it, and that's when SABA was formed. It brought together us bicyclists who were interested in institutionalizing bicycle advocacy and making a point that where was a constituency, it wasn't just recreational bicyclists, it wasn't just commuters, it was safe routes to school, it was about having a network. We were able to have an institutional group that could stand up with the other special interest groups and fight and argue to get the Bicycle Master Plan approved. SABA and the Bicycle Master Plan really worked together because SABA and the Bicycle Master Plan's 1989 Bicycle Master Plan's goals were really the same.
In 1990, California voters approved Proposition 116, a transportation bond that included $20 million for bicycle commuter facilities. One of the funded projects was the Highway 50 overcrossing at Aerojet Road, a separate bicycle pedestrian bridge dedicated on April 9, 1999, 7 years after the widening of the Highway 50 Hazel interchange in 1992.
In 1992, the Sacramento County Board of Supervisors approved a widening of the Highway 50 interchange at Hazel Avenue. Now, SABA was pretty green at that time, and we were learning our way, and we challenged the adequacy of the environmental impact report, saying that by building this interchange, they were blocking bicyclists and pedestrians from crossing Highway 50 at Hazel Avenue. So the Board of Supervisors did express some sympathy and directed the staff to find a way to accommodate bicyclists and pedestrians. It took 7 full years before we got our overcrossing at Aerojet Avenue. These are huge infrastructure projects that cost millions of dollars, but they're all victories because it recognizes that bicyclists and pedestrians need to cross these barriers like freeways and rivers.
On November 23, 1993, the Sacramento City Council voted to close the 14th Street Tunnel due to requests from residents in the area who were upset by illegal activities going on in the tunnel.
This was a very long, emotional battle for SABA, and our position is that the tunnel should not be closed until an alternate as good or better be completed. The City Council ignored our concerns and sent us back to 12th and 18th Street. And the reason the tunnel was built in the first place was in recognition that 12th and 18th Streets were so dangerous that bicyclists needed a safe way to get under the railroad tracks. Now, we finally did get an alternative, and that's our Sacramento Northern Bikeway that starts at 20th and C Streets. And that was dedicated in January of 2000, 7 years after the tunnel was closed.
The 14th Street Tunnel and the 20th Street Connector, the idea was to have them linked as projects. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way. The immediate demand to have the tunnel closed by the neighborhood was very strong in the City Council. The immediate need to find a solution didn't move as fast, and it took time and money to just get all those pieces put together, but it did happen, and there was definitely, an intention to make that happen. And we ended up with the new Sac Northern Bike Trail at 20th and C.
The Sacramento Northern Bikeway is a huge achievement, and when I look at it in the long term, as the city of Sacramento continues to develop down in the railroad project, there will be more and more people wanting to use the American River Bike Trail and to make loops using city streets and the American River Parkway.
While it was a tough pill to swallow, that years without having a facility to get the final product was a good thing.
In addition to lobbying for improvements in the cycling infrastructure, SABA also aims to create programs that encourage cycling. One of the most successful programs was the creation of valet bike parking that provides supervised bike parking at events around the county thanks to dedicated SABA volunteers.
One of the really important things about SABA is how it was not just about lobbying governments to get facilities in. I mean, that definitely was a function of SABA, but it was also people getting together and thinking of innovative ways to make bicycling happen. And one of the things that I'm particularly proud of is the valet bike parking service that I started up in 1994, worked with SABA members to try to get that going, as actually originally as part of Bike to Work Day. And that's now become a major bicycle function that SABA takes on, is having a safe place to put your bike when you attend an event, or however long the event lasts, usually outdoor concerts or things like that. So it's now just sort of a regular thing that a lot of SABA volunteers get involved with. So it's part of what we bicyclists came up with and grew into what is now referred to as bicycle culture. And things like the whole Bike to Work Day started back then. SABA was very much involved with Bike to Work Day in the early 90s. And it's now become not just a bike day, it's basically the entire month of May is commute month. And various kinds of activities that take place during the month of May that involve and get people to try bicycling if they haven't, or enjoy bicycling when they have started it, just to kind of learn all about the different aspects of bicycling. I think the fact is that with bicycling, there is safety in numbers. You get more people riding bikes, you get people out there in the public eye as bicyclists, and that there is a real voice behind them, that they're actually taken seriously. One of the things I think is a great success of SABA is that when decisions that involve bicycling come around, one of the things that people of authority say, well, what does SABA think about this? And I think that probably one of the greatest things that SABA's accomplishments is the fact that when it comes to funding of facilities or any kinds of things the government spends money on, it's a lot more money and a lot easier to get for bicycle facilities compared to 20, 30 years ago. So it's a big success in that regard.
Over the past 20 years, SABA has helped shape the cycling landscape in the Sacramento region and has continuously fought for improvements and funding for major pedestrian and bikeways such as the American River Parkway, the Tower Bridge, Hornet Crossing, the Watt Avenue Bridge, and the new I-80 overcrossing in Natomas. With their experience and knowledge, SABA has helped advise planners on new bike plans for surrounding areas and continue to encourage the implementation of complete streets. With over 1,200 members, SABA is a powerful resource to cyclists in the Sacramento region and seems to be well on its way to creating a bicycle-friendly community where bicycling for everyday transportation is common because it is safe, convenient, and desirable.